Hi, everybody. It's Jane Celia Hatch in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I am here on October 31st, 2024. It is Halloween Eve, All Hallows Eve, which will be a fun night for some children, and for other children, it will be a very horrible night. As I've come to understand what is often happening on Halloween, but I, like some other people, don't discourage people from celebrating because it is actually the celebration of the earth and the turning of the wheel, and it was to benefit humans and their psychic abilities. And tomorrow, in many cultures, it's the Day of the Dead, which is a celebration of our ancestors, and the veil between the worlds is thin. So it is a time to celebrate your ancestors and even to communicate with them. I'm sorry, I'm not very Halloweenish, but that will happen later, I think. So, like so many things on the planet, Satanists have usurped it and are using it for evil intent. But it was not originally that. It is one of the days, it's the turning of the wheel, from summer to fall. It can be a magical night because, yes, there are other entities that are close to us that can come through the veil. But it's been usurped. So I encourage everyone to, you know, protect themselves. Don't get into situations where you're with other people of low, that have low negative energy or really addictive energy. It's a time, it should be to a degree, a time of contemplation of the wheel turning on the earth, and the summer ending, and the fall ending. And we're sort of heading, no, the fall beginning, and we're going into the deep, dark aspect of life on the planet when we go into hibernation and we begin to plant, think about what we're going to plant in the spring, how we're going to begin our life anew in the spring. And this is the original purpose, was for us to feel the turning of the wheel and the turning of life, and things ending, and time for contemplation and withdrawal, and you know fires and hot soup, and looking out the window at the snowstorm. And really, it's a great time for writers, that's for sure. But I'm sorry to say, Satanists do use this night as they use any time on the earth where there's extra power. So I don't think everyone should just pull down their blinds and be in a really negative state of mind, because that only feeds their negativity. I suggest you call in love and light, and beings of love and compassion, to protect the children and to protect yourself. And um it's a strange thing on this earth that, like, Satanists take everything good and turn it to bad. But I don't believe we should abandon those things, like ignoring the turning of the wheel and the different beautiful times on earth is like giving up our power. Like, the earth, Mother Earth is our mother. Like, this is important to her, these power points and these power times. And it's our connection to the earth. Like, if you just say, no, this is horrible, it's terrible, like, we're disconnecting from our mother, and they stole her. So we have to reclaim our connection to the earth all year, all year, not just on Halloween and other times, but reclaim it from them. So I don't know why I'm not Halloweenish, but I'm not. Um, I am planning on going out, I think later. And maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I've done, Day of the Dead, calling in ancestors, and you really can feel them. But I don't believe, but I have done this. I don't really believe it's necessarily a time for tarot, um, with strangers, especially because you are opening yourself up, and it is a time when the veil is thin. So more beings than usual could potentially come through. So, I today I'm just going to show you really quickly how you can make your own herbal tinctures so easy. It's folk remedy. It's also called the wise woman process. It's so like you can make $300 worth of herbal tinctures for $10. Right now, I'm gonna tincture with Trader Joe's. I think it's from glass. I like to use glass. It's gluten free. I think it's made from grapes, and yeah, distilled from grapes. I could go higher end with like a product called Tumble Roots, made here in Santa Fe, but it's really expensive. And I think this is a relatively good quality. I'm going to make a lemon balm tincture in just a second. I'm going to show you how I do that. And I'm also going to make a calendula oil, which I'll end up using in my salve. So first of all, I'm going to show you, okay, I just went out in my garden today and I picked, because it froze a little bit last night. It's going to freeze again today. So this is the last of my garden. Oh my God, they smell heavenly. They're different. Calendula smells a little different, but I still like it. So these are the calendula flowers that were in my garden. And calendula is softening, it's antifungal, it's antibacterial, it's antiviral. And so, okay, I will say I picked these around high noon. When you're going to make an oil or a tincture, alcohol-based tincture, you want to make sure there's absolutely no water on your plant, because water causes mold. So I will say that I did make sure I didn't go out in the morning when there's dew, or sometimes at night there's dew too, or some sort of watery sediment. And I picked what was left of the lemon balm, which is there wasn't much. This is definitely the end of the year. Smells so heavenly too, like lemon peppermint. So this again, I picked, at the same time as the calendula. So there's no water, and it was noontime. It's very sunny here. So these are very, very dry herbs. They're not dried, they're dry. They're freshly picked dry herbs with no water or anything on them. So you kind of want to make sure you don't have other leaves or stems or anything other than your own plant in there. That's another thing you can do, is just simply look, make sure there's no bugs. But yeah, these are freshly picked calendula. I'm just going to put the camera down so you can see what I'm doing here. This is so easy. Okay. I know this looks, it doesn't look like Martha Stewart's doing it. So here is just a common, like sometimes called a bell jar. This is a KERR, and you can almost use anything. You can almost use like an old pickle jar. This does have a better seal on the top. So all I'm going to do here is take the top off. And I'm going to put these flowers in here. And as I'm doing it, I'm putting leaves in too, because it has this, not all plants, but this has basically the same constitution as the flowers as far as medicine. Sometimes leaves, roots, they're all different. But like echinacea, I think you use leaf, flower, and root. Root is the most powerful antiviral, antibacterial. And so you can see I'm just stuffing, and as I'm doing it, I'm kind of looking for any imperfections, brown. I'm lucky I don't have it, even though there was a frost last night. What is wrong with my voice? So this is going to be an oil that I'll use as a base, or I can use it as a massage oil if I wanted to, but it will probably be a base in one of my salves. And this I'm going to use again from Trader Joe's, because they basically have the best prices and they have pretty good quality products. So I'm just adding it, to this, what is this? 8 ounces, 10 ounces, something like that, jar with the flowers in it. And I've made St. John's wort oil. I've made clove oil. Anything you want to use for a base and a salve or as a massage oil. Um, so I'm filling it to the rim and a little bit above. Guess I'm not totally prepared. So I did wash my hands. I did spray the top of that with this alcohol. This is just a regular alcohol from, I don't know where I got it, but it's the basic kind you have in your medicine cabinet. And then I will spray, and I'm going to end up using the bottom of this, but just letting it dry. And then I'm just going to press this down to see if I can get out all the air bubbles. And that, folks, is it. I'll check it a few more times for air bubbles. I'll push it down. But that will sit in the dark for 6 weeks. And then you have a flower oil. I'll put it like in the back of a cabinet. I'll probably wash off the outside of this because it got really oily. And then I'll put it away in a cabinet, dark space in a cabinet, and I'll check it a couple times. I'll do what I just did, push it down to make sure all the air is out, because air will also cause mold. If you do get mold, you can just wipe it off the top. So that's going to be a calendula oil in about 6 weeks, which if you bought it in the store, that amount, let's say it's 10 ounces, it'd be about $200. I think it cost me $1 or $2 for this. And that was the cost of the oil, because the calendula was self germinating, self seeding. So I didn't even, I didn't buy the calendula. I just appeared in my garden. So this is the tincture that people probably really interested in. And I'm sorry, but I have to go wash my hands from the oil. I have oil. So you can see that. And then I've got another jar, mason jar. Is this 10 or maybe 16 ounces? So I'm going to spray this, just to be cautious. Disinfect it a little bit more. And then wait just a second for that to dry, because I don't want that residual smell. So in the meantime, I'm just going to look at this. There's a little bit of brown on this lemon balm, but not a lot. Yeah, you can see this leaf. Maybe I won't use that one because, and also on the top, there's one that's a little bit, I guess that one's okay. So as soon as this dries, I'm going to start putting them in here, and I'm breaking them up a bit. Some herbalists even pulverize a bit. It's called releasing the medicine. And I'm going to get a paper towel. just help this along a little. Okay, there's absolutely nothing in there and it's been sterilized. So I'm going to start putting the lemon balm in. And again, I looked at it once when I was harvesting it. Now I'm looking at it a little more closely. Just to be sure there is no bugs or another leaf that got in there. I mean, most of the time that'd be fine, you know, except you get something you really don't want in there, but I pretty much know what's in my garden and what's going to fall. You know, there's clearly no leaves in here from the aspen. Or I had very low harvest this year. I don't know whether it's getting hit with chemtrails or something. I don't know. I think I was, I'm a targeted individual and I get hit. And, like the Satanists, the people who do the targeting, they like to, they know your joy and they like to destroy it. So they're always, working on trying to eliminate anything in my life that is joyful. So normally I would have a little bit more in there. I'd like really pack it in, but this was such a low harvest. I mean, this is the second harvest of this. So I'm basically just pouring this vodka in to cover that lemon balm. And I'm putting a little bit more in. Lemon balm is super calming. It's a nervine. It's not a really powerful one like motherwort or valerian, or I'll fix my camera again, or skullcap. So you can take it during the day, like if you put it. So here's I'm just gonna guess this is 16 ounces. So if somebody sells at $20 an ounce, well, 160 would be $10. So it's like 320, potentially $320 worth of tincture when this is done. I'm guessing. So 8 ounces, let's just say it's 16 ounces, and someone was selling this at $20 an ounce. So you have a product that's what did I say? 16 ounces. If it was $10, it'd be $160. If they sold it for $20, it'd be over $300 for this. And what did I use? Maybe $1 worth of vodka. So again, I'm not going to use this because it have oil on it, but after this video is over, I'm going to get up and push that down again and you'll see bubbles come up. So this will make sure all the material, the plant material is covered with vodka or whatever you use. So here is, $500 on the market, potentially, of product that I've just made for maybe $2, something like that. And all you have to do now, all I will do is put these away in a dark cabinet. And my kitten just turned out the light, and for about at least 6 weeks, and then I'll strain it. And I'll do a video when I strain it. So it's simple. It's just straining it, but just, sometimes it's questions. So I think that's pretty cool. I think it's time to, if you can, start growing your own vegetables, making your own herbal products. I keep talking about positive timeline, and that will contribute to it. Is if you're not being dependent on FEMA or something like that, FEMA does not have our best interests at heart, as far as I know, and as far as I've researched. So if there is increasing disruption in your area, it's best to not. And plus, another thing they're doing is they want us out of our houses and into 15-minute cities. So they're, using HARP and CERN and other advanced technologies to create weather systems in certain areas to wipe out the homes. And then what they say is you can't, like they did in the mountains in, was it Virginia or Tennessee? Oh, it was North Carolina. What's that big city with the college city? Ashland. I think it's at Ashland, Asheville. I can't remember. Shit. So anyway, there was a horrible hurricane and very unusual, and they're doing it, and people don't understand, say, oh yeah, because it's climate change. Well, they're getting away with doing really strange and unusual things because they've already created the narrative that it's climate change. So we're, there's masses amount of people looking at saying, oh, it's climate change, because that's what they've been mind controlled to believe. And it's just like created this big opening for HARP and CERN and the American military and the military globally working with ETs. Sometimes everybody's got alliances, everybody's, they're all connected, all trying to get technology, and they're all trying to, most of them are trying to enslave humans. And so they wipe out our land, wipe out our houses, our access to Mother Earth, wood, fire, everything. They want to eliminate all our connection to Mother Earth. And they're doing it all around the globe. And then they want to get you out of your house, because then they're going to bulldoze it and create a smart city. And then you're going to be completely controlled if we allow this to happen. But we can't allow it to happen. I would say don't leave your house, like whatever. They did that in New Mexico last year. They set wildfires all over, the rural areas, and people have been in ranches for generations, were driven out, and they're creating these horrid smart cities here, which they're going to try to corral everybody into, and they have a huge FEMA camp here. And God only knows what they're going to do next, because we got notices from the electric company that they could be shutting off electricity, and they blatantly said, and we will not give you a reason. We're leaving it. We're responding to those who have, so it was like this really like Orwellian language. Like, we are responding to those who have your best interest at heart. So it's like the electric company even has been co-opted by these NGOs and the best interest groups, like these little committees somewhere in their so-called sustainable offices somewhere, are going to be able to tell the electric companies to cut the power. And they've already set out a notice that we're not even going to tell you why. We're just going to do it. And so, and with the huge FEMA camp here, they're definitely gearing up for it. It's huge. I mean, the parking lot is entirely filled with cars. There's armed guards. There's chain link fences. So, yeah, I am getting back to that. That's one timeline, but we have the power. We are the masses to choose a better timeline. And part of that, I think, is going back to Mother Earth and making our own medicines as much as we can. Most everybody, a lot of people since what happened the last 4 years have turned away from mainstream medicine and mainstream pharmaceuticals and getting more into herbal remedies. So yeah, I wish I had some Halloween decorations, there's some outside, have a pumpkin. Maybe I'll just share, I'll show my website. I'm not doing a lot on I am not doing a lot of anything but writing a book. So I wish that I was doing more with my websites, and I just what is this? Okay, that's okay. Why would it cover the one icon I needed? So you're seeing a lot of chapters of my book. Talk about changing the timeline. The book is going to revolutionize even history, in some cases, the history and what was really going on, and why, and the real purpose. Believe it or not, it ties into family court and all my other and princess stuff. It's not arbitrary. Everything I do is kind of tied together. So I haven't really been doing my herbs too much, except for to make sure I have a personal supply, especially of motherwort, which is a really great sleep aid, because if you're a targeted individual, they're always trying to send this, all kinds of let's see. Okay, this is my website, janeciliahatch.com. I really, really if anybody out there can do website, like I need help so much. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I used to be able to go in here and do things. I don't know what's going on. I can't. Like they're hitting my brain a lot. I mean, maybe it's coming kind of obvious. This is janeciliahatch.com, and it shamanism workshops, Reiki 1, flower essences, what is a shamanic healing. I want to put something up here about MK Ultra. If anybody wants to help me with this site, I would really appreciate it. I just don't have time. And then Bethesda Star Organics.com is another site. Bethesda Star Organic. Okay, probably because I don't have an S. It's like my herbal site. It is seriously hacked by my stalkers, and they even took down my store. The algorithm. I think all that's going to change, though. I think they're going to go bye-bye because we're going to raise the vibration on the earth so much that they don't like it here. That's why I stay positive. So this is flower essences, how they are created. Testimony. Oh, I make a pine needle tincture that a lot of people still use after the jet. I can't even say it. It's a detoxer. Let's just say that. Let's see. It's a lot about flower essence. I salve. I don't have a lot in here about tinctures. A lot of my tinctures are for my own personal use and that of my family and friends. I wrote Flowers Are the Medicine of the Future, study, and then I don't know if I wrote that or shared it. Study reveals pine needle health benefits, detox from spike proteins. Okay, so this is based on the Epic Times 2022, and that's why I made one of those projects, one of those tinctures. Isn't that? Oh yeah, here it is right here. I need to make some more of this. Again, if I really use some help while I write my book, if anybody wanted to go in on this Bethesda Start Organics with me, because I don't have the time right now. So I think that's basically all I was going to share. I don't really want to go into too much of the Newer Lord and FEMA because I wanted this to be kind of a positive video. Bethesda Star visiting Glastonbury, England. So this was taken as I was walking up to Tor and the Chalice. So this was an incredibly powerful day for me in England. England is the home of my soul, and I hope I go back there to live at some point. Okay, sorry. Okay, here I am here, and here I am here, and yeah. So let's raise the vibration on the earth so that evil cannot live here because they live off of our torture and pain. And we are the true gods and goddesses, and they've convinced us we are the slaves. So let's stop projecting onto others as our rescuers and heroes. We are the rescuers, and we are the heroes. So I think that was all. Again, if anybody is interested in, I could even do a share where I teach you shamanism for tech skills, especially if you live in Santa Fe, New Mexico or nearby. Or I'm hoping to move to the East Coast. So it would also be possible around Boston in Cape Cod if I can ever get back there. I think my perpetrators love me near Area 51 and all the military bases. I've been stalked my entire life by the military. I'm now discovering, but that's another whole video. So yes, I will say happy Halloween. call in the loving and compassionate spirits, pray for the children. Okay, lots of love.